Hey everybody, and welcome to the season finale of Around the Saloon. You're gonna see me looking down quite a bit, and I apologize for that. But there's a puppy running around at my feet, and I'm very worried he is going to either start chewing my cables or he's going to turn off my entire computer. So I'm going to keep an eye on my screen and an eye on the dog. Welcome to Around the Saloon. I just realized that I had the first question posted and I didn't even see it. We have three guests for you tonight. One of them is our, um, I, I mean, he's automatically won the season because he's won twice, and none of the other people who have won this season are on the show tonight, and this is the last show for uh, the season. So, congratulations, Gordon. But you
Hey.
won automatically. Can you redeem channel points for the puppy? Sure. Here, let me pull him up here. Oh, come on. I don't think he's gonna like this. I don't think he's been up this high before. Say hi,
Oh, puppy.
little corgi. He's shaking his feet.
Aww.
Yeah, you'll put 10 points, 10,000 points in for the puppy. If I had a second cam, I have his crate behind me. I would, but oh, he doesn't want to be up here. If I had a second cam, I would put a cam on his crate, but I do not have that. I'm not made of money.
I should have
Uh,
done dog cam.
dog cam. Yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, congratulations, Corden. We have a new guest on the show tonight, being DeSharmo, first time, and we'll see how he does. Maybe he'll just dethrone the king on his way out of the season. And then we also have the magnificent return of Lotus Knight. Still no Cam. We're waiting on that glorious moment, and for
You
whenever
know
it
my
happens.
face.
I do,
You
but
and
you said,
Deshaun have seen my
hey,
face.
you told me that you were saving the THL reveal for a special moment, so we're waiting on that
Yes,
special moment still. That's what I'm saying. I
we're
have
going to
correct.
heavily milk that content.
Yes, I mean it
Heavily.
is being milked. That cow is running dry soon, but it is being milked. You're correct. We have a lot of good stuff to talk to you about tonight. We have a mini set coming tomorrow. Mercenaries has launched, and yes, we have a couple of series in THL that are either in their finals or they're entering their finals. And then Battlegrounds exists. So let's get started. We're going to start Gordon. We're going to go clockwise like we normally do. We're going to start off talking about Mercenaries. Last time we had a show, um, we were predicting, kind of setting our expectations for Mercenaries, but now it's out and it's been out for a couple weeks now. So let's start to talk about those predictions we had set and our reactions or if our feelings have changed. So, Corden, are you surprised by Mercenaries or were your expectations pretty well met?
All right. So for me personally, I think my expectations were probably let down a little bit. It was a little more grinding than I'm really like out of my video games. I know people say, "Oh, you grind ladder, you grind anyway." It's a different type of grind. I don't like running the same gauntlet, air elemental, constantly over and over and over. So I was a little bit let down, but I think for the community, I think it pretty much hit the nail on what they wanted. Everyone really took off to it. There's been a lot of content creators that have gotten behind it and really pushed towards making mercenaries their number one style, getting away from standard, getting away from battlegrounds, which I think has been the impromptu, I don't want to play standard anymore. So it's given a lot more life to individuals who just want to create content, create good content too. We can have like tier lists now. Battlegrounds kind of had tier lists, but I think Mercenaries kind of really makes the tier list a different thing. You can even have tier lists with, different comps. You can have tier lists with this. And there's so many different explanations and reasonings behind why people think specific comps are better than this comp and who to play first and who to go second and who do you bring in as your fourth mercenary. I really enjoy it. I think it's been really good. And I am DeSharmo now. So that's where I
Yeah.
will stop.
Sorry. Give me one second.
I don't want Deshaun to have any of my points. So,
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
give the points to Deshaun.
There we go. Okay.
but yeah, I think it was. I think people have been happy with it. I'm a little worried about the life of it right now, though. If they don't, they're doing 5 new ones for tomorrow, which is really great. But the fact that they changed the grind on it makes me a little bit worried that if you didn't jump on the horse automatically, and now you're kind of behind, like very much so, and there's a lot of catch up to do.
Awesome. Uh, my dog just peed on the carpet behind me. So,
Fantastic.
Ducharmo,
Yeah.
go on.
And yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with your dog. Mercenaries is really bad, and it probably deserves what your dog did. I do
Thank
not
you.
like. I do not like Mercenaries at all.
Okay.
I even gave it a chance, and I'm a pretty open-minded, person. I went in. I bought. I didn't buy the pre-order, but I bought the Mercenaries bundle. I bought like they had another bundle out there, and I bought a few of them, and I got most of the Mercenaries. And I went in there and I started playing, and I enjoy. I'm not gonna lie. When I first went there, I was like, "This is different. This is not too bad." I enjoyed it a little bit, but then the grind hit quickly. It was like it happened. Like I went to level 15. And I'm like, how many more levels do I need? And like that's one reason why I don't go back to WoW, World of Warcraft. It's just the grind. I'm tired of grinding things. I'm tired of, I look at the game and I see all these cards and I see all these cool abilities, and I have to wait to get to these abilities, and I don't want to wait. I want to play with those abilities. I don't want to sit there and have to grind PVE after PVE after PVE to try to get these items or these things unlocked. And I'm not going to. And so I haven't touched Mercenaries since, I don't know if it's been a couple weeks, because I'm just tired of the grind. And I was like, you know what? One day I was like, I'm going to do all these tasks and I'm going to get them all done. And now I'm at a point where I look at the tasks like, I don't want any of these characters. They suck. So I'm not gonna do them. And then now I just don't even want to touch it, because it's the way it is right now, and the way the grind is set up. It's just not for me, and I'm probably not gonna go back unless they make some serious change to the grind of the game.
Okay, fair enough. Lotus.
So I came to Mercenaries as someone who plays a lot of gotcha games, and yeah, most of them are anime games, and I love my character, my fate references, my well, in Mako's case, his Kill la Kill references, or whatever anime you really want to see. They're the thing is, I know those games, I play them a lot. I just feel like Mercenaries loses in one very important part to them, which is the lack of variety. Like the whole PvE experience feels like you're doing the same thing 35 times. The PvP experience feels like you're doing the same thing 35 times, because due to the grindiness of it, everyone just has to maximize the same characters because they're the good comp. And so all the time you end up facing the same comp over and over again. You're going to face Karen Diablo because that's what you have to face. There's a positive note, though. There have been things that have surprised me positively with Mercenaries. I do think the fact that they're willing to update it and willing to let it grow is a good sign, and willing to have it change, not just balance changes to reduce their grind or to increase their grindiness at first, but I think they're going to be willing to make it better from the fact that they're already introducing new characters, already trying to introduce new things. I would love some new good songs, though. I feel like the songs are so bad, and just the whole screen, the GUI needs to improve. I just need to feel like I'm on this fun hunt with my mercenary pals while I'm doing it, not just in the middle of nowhere. So I think some expectations were met, yes, but at the same time, I would have liked more. On a final note, it is better than Duels.
Okay. Yeah, and my first reaction seeing Mercenaries, like I don't know if you want to call it match, like gameplay, was how empty the board was. I feel like there's
Yeah.
just so much unused space, and I think that's a good thing that standard Hearthstone does, is they fill up that space, um, giving you
Yes.
things to do with it, and that was my big complaint with Mercenaries, was the unused space of that. Feel free to discuss your more initial reactions. I have to take 30 seconds to go clean up this mess before it soaks into the carpet.
Well,
I
I
feel
kind
like
of agree with. Oh, you keep going, or anybody?
go
Anyway,
go Charm.
I was just gonna say that I watched. I don't know if you guys have seen the recent Regis Kilbin video on Mercenaries, and I think he covers it very well. I just the game itself is just it's way too grindy. It's not. There's like I felt to me the game feels like it was a hashed out game where they put the grind into it so that they can make money off of it. That's what it feels like to me. Like the game itself seems
Mhm.
fine, but like why do I have to wait a very 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 long time to get a character, all of
Yeah.
their abilities or something. I get it, level up a little bit, but the amount that they're making us do it is just way too much, and the amount of
It
money that
is.
that you need to put into it is also way too much for the amount that you get out of it. And I just not having fun, and you think about like a lot of players like myself, probably you two as well. We're working people. I have a job. I
Yeah.
go home. I get home at whatever 5:30, 6 o'clock. I spend time with my family. And then what am I going to do? Get on Mercenaries and grind for 3 hours and then go to sleep? I'm not going to have time for that. So
Yeah. I have the feeling that they made Mercenaries as kind of a Hearthstone mode you could play in the toilet. And even that there are
they
better
should put the
games.
game in the toilet because it's just
I
terrible.
just play Face Hunter on the toilet
Yeah.
personally. So I mean, I
Yeah.
already had a game mode. Yeah, no, I think that I really hope Mercenaries continues to grow. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not my style of game, but I always hate seeing game modes die so quickly without really be giving the chance to experience
Yeah.
something. Duels, was I really don't want it to see the way of duels. I'd love to see it go the way of battlegrounds because I mean, it's not Battlegrounds because really Battlegrounds is just a grind too, right? It's just a rank grind. You just want to, you're building the same comps as, the good comps,
Um,
really. You have a little bit more variation in
we
Battlegrounds, but
need
you're
to.
not always offered, beasts all the time. You're not always offered the pirates you want, maybe, or whatever it is. So there's a bit more variation that way, but the fact that it's so open and you just buy what you want and then level them and you have to, yeah, I hate grinding. I mean, maybe there's people out there that love it, some people look at Raren on Twitch and YouTube. He's mained it now, Mercs is his thing. He absolutely loves it. He's all about it. He's putting great content out for it, and I hope it does stay alive for people who have taken it under its wing and really tried to
Mhm.
support it.
I'm
Uh,
with you on that. I don't want the game to suck, but
Oh yeah.
I want it
Right
to do
now it
well.
does,
I think,
unfortunately.
yeah, I don't want anything that Blizzard makes to fail, but it just not there right now. And to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
they need to make some serious changes.
uh,
Yeah. I
I
will say music would be great.
all right. I have returned. Sorry about that. So
No worries.
let's transition into the mini set. The most exciting thing coming to Hearthstone. Uh, that's not Mercenaries, although it sounds like none of the three of you were excited about. To be honest, my expectations were there was going to be more of a positive discussion about Mercenaries tonight. So this is very interesting. So let's move into the mini set. Initial reactions to the mini set. Let's start with Lotus here.
Sure. The mini set. So, first of all, I'm so happy we're finally getting the mini set. It took way too long. I think that's the other reason why I have a negative reaction to Mercenaries is that it delayed the mini set, and we really need a new mini set. I'm not going to talk about specific cards because that's coming later, but I think just the meta is a bit stale. Of course, we all know it. We all been feeling it. Quest lines are a bit. I wouldn't even say quest lines. Just a few decks are way too dominant and we need something fresh. I think the mini set is bringing that. I love pirates. I just want to dress myself as a pirate and play the mini set while dressed as a pirate and do a full show just talking like a pirate. Maybe that will be the day I will do my face reveal when I get to play a
Ooh,
pirate on screen.
okay.
Um, with a horrible pirate voice and a Brazilian accent that really don't merge well. But that being said, I think I'm excited to the mini set bringing some freshness. And I think there are some really cool concepts. I will add that the mini set isn't bringing any new decks. I don't feel like there's any deck that's going to be born because of what we're receiving to the mini set. So it's going to be more about how much is it going to pull some archetypes that have been fringe or some archetypes that are tier 1 into tier 0 status. So concerned about one or two cards, probably not the most significant ones because I always mess up and start to focus on weird things, except for the one time I said conditioning was a good card. But other than that, I think it's good to get a mini set, even if I don't think this will be a revolution to Hearthstone.
All right, Desharmo.
Yeah, I'm looking at the mini set and I'm a bit lukewarm on it. I'm both okay about it, and at the same time, I'm a little disappointed. I look at the cards, and like like Lotus said, there's no new archetypes here. Really, every card, one of these cards fits into an archetype already there, and I don't honestly don't think it takes any. You might have tier 1 decks going to tier 0 or tier 2 decks going to tier 1, but I don't think it brings out any tier 3 or 4 decks up to validity here. I mean, just looking at many of these cards. I think some of them are just flat out. They look strong, but we've been in a mini set. This last set was strong, so cards have to get into play, have to be even stronger, like insanely good. And looking at these cards, they're not insanely good. They're good, they're great, and they're strong, but they're not back breaking or game breaking. And so what you're just gonna see the decks that are doing well do better, and the decks that aren't not. You'll see like a fire ping mage fall off to the wayside, even though it's already off to the wayside, but it'll fall off even more to the wayside, and you'll see decks like the demon hunter, the one where you draw all your cards, the quest demon hunter. You'll start seeing that do better.
Okay, interesting. Corden.
You know, I can agree with what my colleagues are saying here, but I have to disagree with the one thing they're saying is this is a mini set. This isn't a brand new expansion. This isn't gonna reset the meta. This isn't gonna change anything. Mini sets pretty much just bring a brand new set of cards to just revitalize and to add cards. They're not here to change the meta and to extremely shift it and make Quest Paladin great now or make Quest Mage suck anymore. That's what we have the rotations for, right? That's what we have the big expansion drop, the 135 cards. This is just 35 cards. It's gonna add a nice little spice to Hearthstone. It's going to be able, people are going to want to play Edwin. That's going to be a cool deck to play. It's also going to bring things like Shadow Priest back to light. That kind of died out when Elucia rotated, and now it's getting a little bit of help. It's getting some good value cards, things like that. Pirate Warrior, they alluded to it with making the nerfs that the new mini set was going to support Pirate Warrior, and holy hell did it ever. So it's not going to change the meta. I think there are good cards that are going to support decks that are here now and make things a little bit more even. But with that being said, I mean, Quest Mage really didn't get support here. So it is still probably one of the best decks. We'll have to see what day one looks like. And people are still going to be smashing Quest Mage and Face Hunter because, we just rolled over and that's just they want to get Legend as fast as they can. And they're going to punish people trying fun things. But I do think there's some cards in here that are going to support some really great archetypes.
All right. I am excited for Pirate Warrior, to be very, very frank. Okay, so let's move into a continued discussion of the mini set, but let's start talking about some specific cards. Let's start with Desharmo here. Desharmo, what card do you anticipate to be the most impactful coming into the mini set?
Well, I was looking through these cards and I was like, man, like these cards look good, but is any of these going to be impactful? And I am going to go with one that I don't think anybody is expecting. I'm going to go with the Hunter spell, Doggy Biscuit.
Okay.
I think I mean it's a 2 mana, 2/3, gives a 2/3 buff to a minion, and I think that fits right into Face Hunter, like right into the deck. You play on one, you play your 2/1/1s, your Whirltingers, and then you just throw this on one. And on turn 2, more than likely one of those Whirltingers lives. And then on turn 2, you have a 3/4, and that thing is going face. And that is a great stats to have for a minion, a turn 2 minion. On top of that, it offers you an opportunity to trade it and get some rush minions out there. You might be able to play some poisonous now in Face Hunter and get some changes. But I'm all about Doggy Biscuit as a card to change a hunter and give hunter a Face Hunter a little bit more of that juice that it needs to get going in the early game.
Remind me, that's tradable and doesn't have like
That's
a side effect with it as well.
Yeah, when you trade it, it gives a friendly minion rush.
Okay.
yeah, that's it's
Okay.
good. Double trade it.
Yes.
You don't want this card. You top this card. You don't want it. Give it back. Get another card that's worth it.
Okay. Corden.
So truly for me, it's unfortunate because I don't like the style of deck, but I think Paladin's going to be really strong, and I think Righteous Defense is going to be something that does really, really well for hand buff Paladin. Being able to proactively set a minion on board to 1/1, and then you give a minion in your hand, the difference of stats lost. Think about if a Flesh Giant comes down, you play this, make them a 1/1 Flesh Giant, and you just give 7/7 to something in your hand. Like, that's insane. Like truly think about how much like hand buff that really is. And now we see, I mean, I don't want to say too much, but there is a new charge card that, if that lands, like, it's crazy. I think hand buff Paladin has enough defensive mechanisms as well that Righteous Defense as a 3-mana holy spell that can be discounted by Cariel Rome is insane.
Yeah. I won't say go into it, but I think that's new charge card was gonna fit nicely into hand buff Paladin.
Very nicely. And then
Uh,
you just run some trash pirates.
yep. Lotus.
Okay, so I have an interesting one here. I think the card that's actually going to impact the most is Moonlit Guidance, the Druid Arcane spell that discovers a copy of the card in your deck. And this card is insane for so many reasons. First, it gives Celestial consistent draw. Like, discovering a card is already really good. And discovering a copy of a card can give you extra Anachondras, which is what Celestial Anachondra Druid has wanted for a long time. I think this deck becomes way more impactful the moment this card is out. Not only that, it can tutor for ramp. Druid loves ramp. All Druid really wants is to get ramp on 4 or on 3 if you have Innervate or a coin. So really being able to get it one turn early, even if the second line doesn't actually matter, the fact that you're discovering a card helps a lot. And you can get Lunar Eclipses out of it. You can stop running Claw Machine. Like, Claw Machine is such a bad card. You're paying a 6 mana just to tutor your Anachondra. You now have a Discover a card from your deck. That's just so much better. And the game is going to become a bit more aggressive, yes, with the whole Pirate Fiesta. But at the same time, I think this is what's going to balance control from just becoming insane, specifically Quest Shaman. And I think the way it is going to stop Quest Shaman in other control decks is just, or even combo decks like, what's the name? OTKDH, which is getting Need for Greed, or Garrote Rogue, which is getting the 1-mana weapon. I think this is going to be the tool Druid is needing to bring Anachondra one more time as a tier 1 deck and make everyone hate their lives as on turn 4 you get hit by a full board of Germinated Anachondras and your aggro deck loses anyway.
All right. Let's move into our face or trade rounds. Now, we only have 2 face or trade questions tonight. So, Lotus is currently in the lead with 8, and Corden and Ducharmo are sitting at 6. After these 2 questions, we are going to eliminate one of these participants. We're going to start off with the card that we have been kind of just dip, duck, dive, dodging, and I think I said dodge too late. I'm supposed to say dodge twice, right?
Yep.
Yeah, darn it. And that is Mr. Smite. I actually had it written in our little topics thing as Unholy Smite. because I saw a meme on Twitter that was calling it Unholy Smite, comparing it to Holy Smite, and I would just, in my brain, thought that was its real name for a second. So I had to fix that. And I'm glad I fixed it before the show, because otherwise it would have written as Unholy Smite when I put this up here. Let's start back up with Corridon, who started us off originally. Corridon, face or trade, Mr. Smite is going to cause problems.
Yeah, face. I agree with this 100%. I think having a neutral charge is always going to make issues for decks that are going to be able to abuse it. This card's going to be around for a while. You know, we just alluded to hand buff Paladin being able to, even just sticking a couple stats on top of this is going to be great. You throw this in like Libram Paladin, you get a handful of Librams that cost 0, and you just slap a ton of Librams on top of them and just jack face. Like, it's going to be an issue. It's also going to be an issue because decks that you typically will have to play around that don't have direct damage or face damage now do. I mean, a lot of times you're not worried about, I don't know, a paladin killing you from hand, let's say, but, you know, weapons are typically the only way. But now all of a sudden, oh, here's a 6 mana 6/5. It's also going to be, you know, it kind of makes Pirate Warrior awkward. I don't think this is the defining card for Pirate Warrior. I think it's a great card to have in it because you can rush whatever pirate you get off of the Juggernaut plus whatever other 4 cost pirates or 2/2s you have in your hand for Pirate Warrior. So I think it's going to be great. I think a neutral legendary is awesome. I'm really glad we got a neutral one because it seems like it's going to be a good, powerful one. Yeah, it's going to be all right. Even, you know, Druid could potentially do something with this. Druid has a lot of buff cards. Priest, you ever think of Priest with this? Like, you know, that we just saw a Moonfang Priest not too long ago that abused the Moonfang. You imagine abusing this and copying it and putting, you know, 0/0. What's the Power Word Fortitude on this? Like, it's gonna be a problem.
All right. Let's go with Ducharmo here.
I'm gonna trade 100% trade. And I know you guys might get bashed for this one, but look at how the meta is right now. Games are won on turn 7 and turn 8. This is a 6 mana card, so it better be when you play it a game winning card. You're spending your entire mana just going face with some damage, so you better have for 5 turns done an insane amount of damage and almost going to win the game with this card. I'm thinking about it from 2 decks that were already mentioned today. You were talking Garrote Rogue and Quest Mage, and I see it being frozen, being killed, and yeah, maybe what do you? I mean, in hand buff Paladin, you're going to give it some pirates, but what pirates are you going to buff? And for me, when I'm playing Garrote Rogue and I'm on turn 6, that is a turn. I'm probably freezing all your stuff by then. You know, if I'm mage, you have nothing. You're not doing anything to me, and I'm looking at Mr. Smite as just too slow. It's Leroy, but 1 more mana, and it's not going to do that much damage on turn 6, and it's not going to get the game over. I think for this card to be worth anything, there needs to be nerfs to a lot of these decks. Garrote Rogue needs a nerf. I think Quest Mage is probably going to need a nerf. And you think about this card and you put it into, like, let's say Pirate Warrior. It's not going to do anything. Pirate Warrior's whole purpose is to finish the quest, not to burn you down with pirates. And by the time you get this card down, it's not going to be worth it. Now, I will say this: this is probably a card that you do want to see from that from your cannon or whatever the 5 mana 7/7 that thing it drops out. This is definitely one of the pirates that you want to see drop, and you're probably going to see this come out on some Pirate Warrior games and win the game because it gives you a weapon and a 6 mana 6/5 with charge, and you're probably going to be able to play some other pirates on top of that and kill and go face with it. But in terms of a card being played, I think it's overrated. I think people are too much into this card, and I think this card, people are going to see within a week that it's bad and it's not any good.
All right, Lotus.
Okay, so hear me out here. You equip the 5 mana the 4 mana 5 attack weapon the turn before. Then you play this card and 2 of the 2/3 that gain attack equal to your weapon. That happens turn 10. That is way too slow. I'm going to trade this. Agree with Ducharmo that this is a potentially very dangerous card. It does enable a lot of attack to Pirate Warrior. It enables you to kind of have this finisher where you just dump stuff with high attack on the board and go face. That said, That's so late. And talking about Juggernaut generating a 1 in a million times, yeah, that doesn't matter enough. It's not enough to, like, it will give once in a while. It's definitely going to make Pirate Warrior a better deck. And there are cards coming out that will make Pirate Warrior very much viable. Like, I think the new 3/3 for Warrior makes Pirate Warrior a much better deck than Mr. Smite is making it. Because that card is going to shoot cannons in your face and it's going to kill you fast. That makes aggro Pirate Warrior a deck again, which really isn't right now. Pirate Warrior is playing a lot more control than aggro right now, and I was playing it a lot. I climbed in Legend with it. It just works a lot better in a control deck or a control format with the quest than actually in aggro. So I think, is Mr. Smite going to be a problem? This expansion, I think as long as Garrow Rogue, Octobot, and especially Quest Mage are around, not really. I don't see this as what will break the game. I think Pirate Warrior is going to be tier 1, but not because of this card. And you will play it, but it's not what breaks Pirate Warrior. I think it's the 3/3. It's way more dangerous, and maybe the 5 weapon. Not super convinced there. That said, I think this is a trade. It's a potentially problematic card in the future if they release more cost reduction cards or things that are good pirates. Like Paladin doesn't have a good pirate right now. Just things that make you want to play pirates. But as it currently is, I think you have to trade. I don't think Mr. Smite gets close to nerfed before Octo and Field Contact get nerfed.
Okie dokie. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about a neutral charge, but we had Leroy for like what, 5 years, which was also a neutral charge.
And they got rid of them.
Yeah, I wait, is his Shadow Step? Yes, it is.
It's still
You think we're
there.
gonna see this just take the place of Leroy was in Rogue as an extra little burn finisher?
That's 4 mana.
No, that's 10 mana right now, and at 10 mana you got to win the game and do 12 damage at 10 mana is nothing.
Yeah.
There's no way this is gonna be worth anything right now. Maybe after the rotation when cards go away, but not right now.
This is interesting though that we got the mini set so late because I mean, aren't we expecting the next expansion like next month?
Yeah. Well, last time it was in November. It was still in November it was mid-November that they
There's no
released
way.
last.
Well, yeah, but there's no way now. Like they would have said something, and they just are. Do you think this
No.
the expansion may? This is not even a question. Do you think the next expansion may end up getting pushed to January, given?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Or to maybe around Christmas time or something, just to jump on
Like
the
end of December?
trying to get like gifts and buy the expansion for me, or just send me money or whatever.
Yeah.
I could see it. I mean, it's a
Well,
really late expansion. It's a weird one.
Well, I had mentioned that in the THL Discord, and Hat bashed me and said no, that they're not going to miss Christmas. I'm just messing with Hat. Hat didn't really bash me, but nobody really agreed with me. But I still think that it's possible that it could come out in January. I actually was talking to Lotus Knight recently about it, and he had mentioned that. And I tried to look up something about it. I couldn't find any research, but he said that Blizzard had mentioned that they don't want to release around Christmas because they don't want to be doing nerfs and stuff during the holidays. But then I think,
Interesting. So that's really interesting because that means we may see like an announcement fairly soon in the mini set literally just released. Okay. Let's transition. We have 3 more questions tonight. 1 more in face of trade. After this next question, we're going to be eliminating one of our competitors, and our last 3 questions are all THL related. The first of the 3 being a legacy question. So let's start off with Ducharmo here. With Ducharmo, Cord, and Lotus Knight. Ducharmo, face or trade? Defias Brotherhood takes home the trophy in the Legacy Series Finals.
I am going to have to trade here, 100%. The team. I mean, both teams that are in the finals right now are Gold Conference player team, which I had a chance to play, and I think Defias, while they are a strong team, I think their team they're playing, Agent P, just knocked off the team that everybody was talking about this entire season, the Golden Wisps. And they didn't just knock them off. They absolutely destroyed them to a point where they didn't even play a match. because I mean, to do that to a team just shows how strong you are as a competitor. And I think Agent P, or whatever you want to call them, P showers.
Sure.
There's really no best way to put that team, but I think that right now they're on a roll and they're not going anywhere. They're not going to. They're not just going to lay down and let Defias run all over them. Now, I would love to see Defias win because they've been a team that has been around for a long time and I don't believe have won a championship, and it's good to see them perform well for a season. But I don't think that they're going to do it. They're not going to be able to do it. And looking across the matches, Agent PWE on a tear, 8-2. Nails, who's going to beat Nails is the 2 seed for, by the way, and who's going to beat him? You got to give it to him. Geranium Battle, doing really strong. Although I would say that that's probably the toughest matchup right there. Canu, there we go, 6-1, 6-1 over Comp, who's 5-2, and a huge 100 PR difference. And then he turned on 5 seed. I think that we can give it to Defias there, but I think Agent P just has way too many weapons and way too many options for Defias to overcome.
All right, Gordon.
I face this one. I think Defias has what it takes to get to the end. They had a very good run last season. They were beat out in the semifinals last year in playoffs. So I think getting through, they're not going to squander this opportunity here. If we go back and look at, Light Showers took out the Golden Wisp, but Defias took out Wallet Warriors, which has been Silver Conference's golden boy, if you would, who has been absolutely crushing it this season, cleaning up through. And Defias put a beat down on Wallet Warriors just the same as the Light Showers put on the Golden Wisp. If we go back to week number 1 in playoffs, that is, Defias taking a big win over Seek Guidance with the Light Showers just edging out APM. So I mean, there's a chink in the armor there for the Light Showers, and I think Defias is just going to jump all over it. There's still 2 brand new players. I mean, I say brand new. They've played 12 games each now, but Classy Thug jumped to the 1 seed last week, and took it to I believe it was a 3-2 over. Let me just pull it up here. A 3-1 loss to NJO, which is completely fine. Wild9 dropped down and took a amazing 3-0 on stream over Taven, playing Ping Mage. Ping Mage. This man brought Ping Mage, and you have to sit there. If you're Nails, you now have to. Or sorry, not Nails. If you're Nails is the 2 seed, as we said. If you're Agent PWE, crossover player of the year, fantastic player. But Wild9 brought Ping Mage last season, man. Like, what are we going to do with that? I like Defias. I really like their chances here. I don't think they're going to squander this opportunity. I think Light Showers as a team that came in together this season is looking very, very nice for next year. But I truly think Defias is going to take it. It's Pirates too, right? It's Dreadmine's set, and Defias has to win. That's just on brand. The better choice.
All right, Lotus.
I'm actually going face here. I have to agree that Defias is going to win. I think this is a team that, after so many seasons, is finally blossoming. They have some strong players. I still think Wild9 is very underrated. We've cast it together a few times, and is just a player who has a lot of game notion, and I think is overall underrated. And yes, BWE is having an insane season. But still, I mean, it can always happen. Nails facing Classy Thug. So Nails is a great player, but he did lose to Darkside. Week 1, let's not forget about that. Upsets can happen. And I wouldn't even call that an upset, because Classy Thug is 8-4. No 8-4 player has upsets here, especially when they're so close to 550 PR. Neb Kanak versus Geranium. Neb Kanak is another one having a crazy season. I do think the Real Allure is very favored into Eternal, who has not have a super strong season. And yeah, Canoe is probably winning over Comp, but I think Defias is going to sneak through. Even though Agent PWE, Elemental, and the Light Showers is, on paper, probably the strongest team. They have 2 insane 1 and 2 seeds, and their 3 seed should not be a 3 seed, and etc. I think Defias is still being underrated, even though they're semifinalists who brought down Wallet Warrior. And you just, the Brotherhood will prevail in the Dread Mines.
All right. Now I don't think I've ever have to say these words, or I've ever had to say them in the past, but we're gonna have to say goodbye to Desharmo to Corridon for a little bit.
No, you said it. Sherman's
I
got
would
to
just,
go.
man.
You
just
said it.
hijack the competition.
I-
And it is
That
the pirate.
is-
It is the pirate set.
It is. I'm stealing it. I'm swashbuckling your point. Note, this is the first time that I have not made it into the final two.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah.
Yep.
The funny thing is, the first time you didn't make it in the final two is also, you still also won the season because you had the most
That's
wins
true.
on the season.
I am
so
now the back-to-back season champ, so I'll take that.
that is correct. Yes. Yeah. So it was Icicles in season 1, and then you took home the crowns for seasons 2 and 3. I can I'll add that hat on there while your mic is muted. There you go. All right. Let's say goodbye for Gordon just for a little bit, just for 2 more questions, and we're gonna reset the points, and we're gonna talk to Lotus and Ducharmo. Let's Lotus, you were ahead. Would you like to go first or last in this first question? You'll do the opposite in the second one.
I went last in every question but one so far, and it's been working. So I'm just going to keep going last.
So you want to go last in the first one and then first in the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So start off with Ducharmo. We're going to move to a hero question. Now we are in the semifinals of Hero, and it was a topic of conversation for a little bit in Hero Chat today, where I think it was Rebob. Yeah, Rebob said, "I feel like this Hero top 4 is the most stacked top 4 I've ever seen in a PR series. Every team is terrifying. May the best team win." Ducharmo, my question to you first is, what is your ideal Hero finals?
As in teams?
As in teams.
Okay. Awesome.
If we are
my
truly
ideal-
looking at the strongest top 4, what is the best finals we could possibly be presented with?
Well, looking at it already, Diamond and even without Turt already have a match result 4-0 win in Turt's favor. Before that, I would have said Diamond, but now with the 4-0 win over AGT, which I think is huge, that's one of my favorite words there, huge. 3-0 win over AGT is really going to put Turt ahead of Diamond there, and I give it to Diamond. I mean, look at down their roster. I think 9 Eyebrows beats Diamond. Skirt Reynolds beats Roofski, and that's just game over right there. 3 wins. And then for the other one, I'm looking at Bands. I really like Bands. They're a strong team, from top to bottom. Every single seed has a positive win rate. Based Inca 8-4, Seth for Christ at 8-4, Roadrunner doing insane in the 5. And I've always said this: 5 seeds win championships, and if you can get a 5 seed that can produce for you and get a well above average win rate, which Roadrunner has, which is 6-2, you're looking pretty hot and you're looking really nice, and that's exactly what they have. While you look on the other side, you do see Dr. Fish there, but I think the rest of the team is just playing insane and lights out. So for me, my final 2 would be even without Turt and Bands.
All right. Lotus.
So, first of all respect and love to Ducharmo. I really respect his opinions, but he's completely wrong this time. Let's be honest here. At Diamond, even though Justin lost, Justin is just one of a crazy team. Mick is really, really just tearing it this season. And yes, T-Mac is a pretty decent player. I'll admit to that. But you cannot underestimate Mick. Diamond beat 9 Eyebrows. Even though everyone thinks Diamond didn't do that amazing for some reason, Diamond is a crazy player. He's number 4 or something in the rankings, and he beat 9 Eyebrows in regular season. Like, Diamond is crazy. It's just, I don't know. No one believes that for some reason. And Roofski, or Ralph, for those who've met him, he is one of the 2 players who met me in person. and he is just really strong as well. So I have to defend my team. We won last time as Blast, or I won last time as Blast, but we're going to keep it, and we're going to go to the finals. On the other side, I mean, how can you not think of F12 Black? Yes, Baze is crazy, Nails is crazy, but F12 Black just destroyed it this season. They were so good, and they had such huge advantages every week. Fish was on a tear. Itachi is 7-2. If Itachi had played 2 more weeks, he would probably be one of the top 10 players. Like, or not one of the top 10. He's already top 10, but would be on the top three for sure. Rebob is having a great season. Owl is having a great season. F12 Black is going to make it to the finals. Neji doesn't have to focus on pro anymore, so he can just focus on hero. I think this is enough for at Diamond to face F12 Black in a very, very exciting match. And at Diamond is going to win, but I am very biased. I will note that.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say this is going to be huge, though, because I am not going to quote an ex-president like Desharmo just did.
Okay. We have one final question, and we're gonna start off with Lotus here, and then end with Ducharmo. We are tied 2-2 currently. Let's talk Mercenaries and THL. So, we start off with Mercenaries questions. We're gonna end with the Mercenaries question. Lotus, would a Mercenaries series be successful in THL?
Well, I want to answer depends on who's planning it, but I don't want to attack my opponent that directly. Would a series be successful in THL? There are a lot of people in THL who are who are really, really entertained by Mercenaries.
Yeah.
I think would it be successful? I mean, THL people have been putting out great series. We've had great hero series. We've had super successful Wild series. Wild U now. Is it possible that we're going to have a new great series? I think so. I mean, if they make it, yeah, the infrastructure had made is fantastic. And I think in that point, definitely the Mercenary series would be successful. Would I say that a Mercenary series would be, not only would it be successful in THL from that point, do I think a lot of people are going to play it? We have a lot of Mercenary faithful people who really enjoy it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was successful. I'm not a Battlegrounds player, and Battlegrounds player series is no doubt successful. Like, these people really enjoy it. We've had some insane people come to Battleground series, so maybe we can get Raran to come play in Mercenary series in THL. Wouldn't that be fun? Or just one of the big names for Mercenaries just to hype it up. So I have to say, I actually think a Mercenary series would be successful, even though I'm not the target person for it, as long as Desharmo's not the running.
Just attack ads left and right. All right, Desharmo.
All right, I know this is not the thing here, but I'm gonna have to 100% disagree with Lotus Knight on almost everything he said, and I'm not even joking. I don't think Mercenary series is at all going to be successful in the THL. I think Mercenaries is a completely different game mode, and we had talked about the grind. A lot of people are turned off by the grind, and I'm not, I'm not just the only one. And you were surprised with how many people were, you were surprised for someone to be talking positive about it, and most of us were negative in here. And I think you're going to echo that. You're going to hear that echo throughout the community. And I think that a lot of people are not going to want the grind. And you're going to find the people. You're going to find the Rarans and all those other people who really, really love the series and they want to play the series. But I think you're going to find just the same amount or even more people that don't want to play Mercenaries because they don't want to do the grind. Like, I want to play Mercenaries at top level? Absolutely. And you go back to that video with Regis Kilbin, and he talks about it. He says when he played Mercenaries, he enjoyed the top level content when Blizzard gave it to him, and he loved it. And when he came back to the standard or the way it is now, where you have to do the grind, it just killed him. He was doing grind after grind, and he said he spent 3 hours a day grinding, and he was nowhere near the top of where he needed to be the best. Even when he was queuing on ladder, he was queuing into players who were way, way, way stronger than him. And I think you're going to find that too in the THL. And if we did start it, it would fail. I think quickly. I think there needs to be some changes to the system, maybe some way to pay into it to get some points. And I'm going to say one more thing, kind of disagree with Lotus Knight. We talk about Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds started strong, but man, Battlegrounds is waning. Battlegrounds is losing steam, and we don't have enough players for Battlegrounds right now. And we're looking for teams. And you thought about all those good players. They played for what, 1 or 2 seasons, and then they left, and now they're no longer here. And we're struggling to get some teams for that. And so I think while Mercenaries might be a good mode for the single player people who want to play single player games, I don't think in its current state that it is going to be a game for us to make a series at this particular moment, unless there's some significant changes.
All right. Yeah, you kind of took the thing I was thinking about as well with the BG's numbers, because we last season we were struggling so hard for teams that Donde had to make a team and start playing, and just to tell you the competition level, Donde did decently well. So not that the competition level was bad, because it definitely wasn't, but you were also missing those like really high caliber teams that were there before that all left at the same time. Um, and they would have shit on Donde. So there's that too. You guys want to talk shit about Donde for a second? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, good job, Desharmo. Comes in first episode, takes home a W, even though it's the end of the season. Desharmo, you have the floor. Anything you want to say before we start to wrap things up and head home?
Yeah, thank you for having me on here. I know it's kind of like last minute, but I enjoyed my experience here. I enjoyed the THL. I love everything that you guys do here. I love the community. I love all the shows and all the work that people put into these things that we do. There's just so many people behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know that we have, and I'm really happy for all those people that do that. And in terms of like Mercenaries, like I really hope it does do well. I want it to do well, and I want it to be successful. But I just feel that in its current state, it's not doesn't fit the Hearthstone person. Hearthstone people generally are not grindy people. We get our packs and we open up day one, and then we have everything that we can play with on day one. We're not grinding for those packs, and so I hope they make some changes. I mean, even if maybe there's some sort of pay into it, like, hey, pay $20, you get everything upgraded or something, and not this cheap coin stuff that they're doing. But other than that, I really love it. I love this show. I hope it can stick around next season. If not, we'll see what we can do. But I love everything around here, and I love you guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, before I send us home, a couple of things. If you are a captain of a series and you have not told us if you are going to be captaining this season, then you need to do so. I'm mainly just saying this because I know Diamond's in the chat, and he has captaining like 3 series, and so I'm trying to just kind of like hint, nudge, nudge, tell me what you're doing there, bud. You're doing it right now. There we go. That's what I like to see. Also, as far as Saloon for next season, if you are interested in being a part of the Saloon rotation, we got hit pretty hard near the end of the season this season with people getting really busy. It's that time of year. People will their calendars start to fill up. So if you are interested in being on Saloon at any points, we're bi-weekly, so you wouldn't be on very often. But if you're interested in being part of that rotation, then please shoot me a message, because we definitely need some more people in the rotation. People are getting busy right now, so we need some fresh faces. Other than that, anybody else have anything to say before I close up shop?
Can I?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I would say get your finals and semifinals games on streams if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get them out there. Reach out to Lotus, Fish, Saku. We'd love to see them. Cam, no cam, doesn't matter. On your phone, on a mobile, playing on an airplane, maybe get Wi-Fi, but yeah, get them on.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Make sure you play on stream if you're playing finals, semifinals. We're always trying to get matches on stream. Just message me, message Saku, message Fish. We'll get it done for you. There's time. Also, tomorrow we're going to have a very special episode of Heart Center. DeSharmo isn't going to be there with us this week, but we will have Run Mexico, I think. We will have Diamond, and we will have Dr. Fish to interview the Pro Series winners. You won't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be just I really love doing Heart Center. Everyone but Mako here is in Heart Center right now, and it's been great having them, and it's great to be here with Mako as well. So I'm just going to say, come watch us tomorrow. It's not our final show. We still have a few left, but it is going to be a lot of fun.
All right. That reminds me, I need to start getting with captains about merch for winning.
Yep.
So
I was gonna bash Lotus Knight, but you just were so nice, man. I can't do anything now, man. You're so nice.
It's funny.
Love that guy. No, I'm not. I can't. I physically cannot. You've put up that unstoppable wall, and I just cannot. For me, we have Maniac Monday on Monday. Not Monday. Thursday. Maniac Thursdays this week. So get ready for that. Play with some of the new cards. If you're playing in any of the series and you want to practice, and you want to get some points in, go ahead and sign up there. I know there's there's still a lot of available spaces, but that's going to start changing when people start knowing what decks that they're going to build. So don't be afraid to join. It's a best of 3 single elimination. So if you lose, you're done. You don't have to wait around anymore. You're winning, you're staying on, but you want to be there because you're winning. So, and then stay tuned for an announcement after that. Like Wild, like duos, maybe something coming up about that.
All right. We will see you next season. But until then, have a great semifinals and a great finals for Legacy and Hero. And we'll talk to you later. Wave goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Wave goodbye. I'll keep this thing going. Thank